Hello, I'm Kristi Whitfield, and this is our Build Back Better series. As the city moves into or through phase 2 of reopening, one of the exciting things that Mayor Bowser has incorporated for the reopening process has been streeteries. And today, I am excited to be joined with a small business owner and a member of our Main Street community to talk about streeteries and what that means for the reopening process. Let me first introduce Carolina from Purple Patch Restaurant. Carolina, welcome. Tell us about your restaurant and tell us about what it means to move a restaurant into the street. That's got to be super easy. Not at all.
So Kristi, can I take the lead on this one?
Yes,
I'm
please.
Patrice. I'm Patrice Cleary, and I own Purple Patch Restaurant. Carolina's with District Bridges, but I'd love to tell you about Purple Patch and how we've taken our restaurant outdoors onto the street. First of all, I'd like to thank District Bridges for really spearheading this. Carolina contacted me and asked me if this would be something that I would be interested in doing, and I said absolutely, positively yes. Anything that we could do to move our restaurant outdoors would be most beneficial to us. So not really knowing what a streetery was, I immediately went online and looked up parklets, because when I think of streeteries, I think of like little parklets. And then I think back of my time in Barcelona in October and all the restaurants that were on the street. And so I wanted to kind of mimic that and say, okay, I'd love to take my restaurant, put it outside, and how can I do this? First, it was about the aesthetics, how everything how we wanted everything to look. Also, after the aesthetics was how are we going to manage this? Manage the social distancing, because everything must be, of course, socially distanced 6 feet apart. How many tables do we have to manage? And then how are we going to keep people safe? There are definitely rules and guidelines to keeping people safe in accordance with the mayor's office. So we wanted to make sure that we followed all of those safety measures. Just to give you an idea, what we do at Purple Patch is, of course, we sanitize all of the tables. On the actual table, we provide hand sanitizer for everyone. When someone comes up and wants to have a seat at our outdoor restaurant, we first have somebody from the table give us their name and telephone number for contact tracing purposes. And everyone has really felt that this is, this is something that everyone should be doing across the board, because they're saying this is such a great idea just in case someone gets sick. But we first have them fill that out. We seat them at the table. We ask them to just follow a few simple guidelines with us. And one is, if you are not eating and you're speaking to one of us, if you don't mind wearing your mask as a protective measure. Otherwise, if you are eating, then of course you don't have to wear your mask. Another thing that we've done is, all of our menus now are on a little a QR code. And so you sit down and we show you the menu, and we ask that you take out your phone, you open up your camera, and then just hover your camera over top of the QR code. And once you do that, our menu will pop up for you. And for a lot of people that have never done this before, walking them through those simple little measures is like an eye-opener, because they never knew it was that easy. If you were to just tell somebody, yeah, just open this up, this is a QR code, they would be, again, probably like me, a deer in headlights, like, what do I do? How do I do this? But walking them through it makes them feel like, oh my goodness, that was so easy. But they're able to look at our menu through the QR code. They can actually order if they wanted to. If they felt safer to order through the QR code, they could do that, or they could order through one of us. Once the order goes through, we bring their meals out to them, but everything's done on nice plastic plastic plates, the melamine plates, where it's more of like a restaurant quality plate. So I don't feel it looks so tacky. I don't want to put everything in to-go containers, but also I don't feel safe yet to use real plates. As a restaurant, I have been to other restaurants that have used plates, but I still feel more comfortable with less contact of having to wash these plates. We just dispose of them. When a customer wants to leave, they don't have to swipe their credit card with us. They can actually look at their bill, and there's a QR code on the bottom of the bill. The same way that they pulled up the menu, they could hover over top of the QR code and they can pay the bill as well. So we've tried to provide as little contact with people as possible. Of course, we're always on hand if they need something from us, but we really want to give our guests enough space to their own comfort level.
So this is and so thank you for that. And it's funny, we joked before this, and I got your and immediately about your uncle. So Carolina, I'm so sorry, Carolina from District Bridges. Now, Purple Patch is one restaurant in the Streatery, and this is one operation that has been able to move. How many establishments have been moved into a Streatery type of operation in the Main Street? Can you talk to us a little bit about sort of what does this mean for the Main Street? And my goodness, taking this one operation outside is a yeoman's task, but you've helped how many businesses move outside? And talk to us a little bit, take a half a step back and say, why is this important as part of phase 2 of operations?
Of course. So there are many restaurants such as Purple Patch that do not have enough space on their sidewalk to have an outdoor cafe. So this is a great option for restaurants like that. I think people do not feel comfortable, even though we're in phase 2 and they're allowed to serve at a 50% capacity inside. A lot of people, including myself, I don't feel comfortable yet going inside a restaurant. So I think having this option of taking over the street and turning it into a restaurant is great for many, all our restaurants really. So far, I've had 2 Streateries approved. The process was a little bit slow at the beginning. There were some issues, but it's all a learning curve. It's a new system. But we have 2. We have one on 11th and Park, which benefits 2 businesses, Queens English and Macan. And then we have the one on on Mount Pleasant, which we have Purple Patch and Mola, another restaurant, sharing the space. There are about 8 parking spots each. I think one is 6 and one is 8. And how many tables can you fit, Patrice?
So I have 8 two-tops, and I have 2 four-tops. So that's 16, 24 seats I have.
Okay. So basically, yes, from a restaurant that did not feel comfortable opening inside, we're able to provide this outdoor seating. And with all the protocols, I think people feel safe. It looks great in the community. I feel like Mount Pleasant, and I'm biased, I live there too, so I love it. But Patrice did a great job. She got tents, she decorated it, put solar lights. It just gives a positive message through all these hard times that we're going through.
Patrice, how has business been for you since you've reopened? How has the neighborhood responded to this new option?
I've had a lot of feedback from the neighborhood. We had one issue in the very, very, very beginning when we were setting it up. There was a woman that was upset that she could not park her car there, and I immediately addressed it with District Bridges, and District Bridges addressed it with the ANC, and the ANC came out with an overwhelming show of support. Not only that, quite a few members of the ANC community went into their own social media sites, such as Facebook or Nextdoor, and posted something positive about it as well, and allowed other people to provide feedback. So you're not just hearing from, the ANC or District Bridges. You're hearing from the actual community now, and just reading the comments. you just feel how much people support you and how glad people are that you're here and you're doing this, and they're kind of cheering you on from an email's distance, by saying, you know, we love it, thank you for doing this, thank you for all of your hard work, we appreciate what you're doing, let us know if there's anything that we could do to support you.
Well, Carolina, let's it's interesting because I think that the slow streets, the streeteries, are our reaction to the fact that many of our small businesses have had a deep and pervasive disruption in service, and admittedly, they are also a disruption in people's bus service and daily life. And I think as we sort of as we measure out the various disruptions, the decision has been made, and I think it sounds like an overwhelming decision has been made, that the benefits of being able to allow businesses try to serve their communities and recoup some of the losses far outweighs the loss of a small handful of parking lots, or maybe having to walk a little bit different route for your bus stop. But talk a little bit about sort of what you're seeing in the neighborhoods where you're where you've done these streets, and what you think those those balances have been in the different main streets. District Bridges working in multiple neighborhoods across the city.
Yes, so I think at the beginning, all the residents were really excited about the idea of full street closures. So Mount Pleasant was imagining just closing the whole Mount Pleasant, 11th Street. We had conversations with the Mayor's Office of Nightlife that it was going to be a possibility, and then that process just seemed to be taking too long. So I went and got ahead with the Streetery applications, and I worked very closely with DDOT as this was a new process for them as well. And then I think everybody's really receiving it for the most part positively. Yes, some people are going to complain about parking, but in the end, I think everybody understands businesses have been hit really hard. 3 months shut down. You can walk the extra 2 blocks if you park your car somewhere else. And even you're not even getting fined right now for parking off limits or off residential, whatever your parking permit is. So we were able to get this too, and then District Bridges, we also got one approved for Maydan in Florida, but that's more an alley, so it's not really a streetery. And then Logan Circle has a full block in front of Rice on 14th Street for about 2 or 3 restaurants. That's my coworker, Michelle. And right now we're just waiting for DDOT to give us updates on their new insurance requirements. And we have a lot of applications on the pipeline. So we're hoping as soon as we get that, they will be approved by next week. We're also looking in Mount Pleasant specifically to take over the plaza. So put in some tables and chairs, and people can do takeout. And of course, everything's going to be according to COVID guidelines, only 6 people per table. We're gonna have the tables marked so nobody can be moving those tables, controlling crowds. So pretty much we're working with different organizations, the farmers market, to kind of do this at night. So I'm in the process of doing that as well. But I think this idea of bringing outdoor dining is something that people feel very comfortable with. And after being locked up for as long as we've been locked up, people want to do it. And as long as they feel safe, I think this is great for the city. And I'm really hoping that it goes throughout the whole summer as well.
So Patrice, you are a chef and a restaurateur, and you have had to learn how to do those skills in an entirely new way. Let me ask you, what tips would you give to other people in your industry that are considering translating their restaurants into these new ways?
Oh gosh, where do I start? Just to take you back a little bit, we never closed down per se. We just transformed ourselves. So for us, it's been all about learning kind of as you go. We went from, of course, being a sit-down restaurant to turning our whole restaurant into a market. We we service the community of Mount Pleasant and the community at large with, this market that can provide, daily food for you. You can grab and go, or you could take out. Also, we provide meals for kids, free meals for children during the daytime, 7 days a week. So that was the start of like, okay, who are we? Like, let's kind of define what we want to do for the community. Then how do we go about doing that? There really is no, I guess there's no nothing set in stone of like how we actually do things, other than you get rid of all the plates. First of all, everything that you don't need, you get rid of. You store them away, and you transform yourself into this new carry-out restaurant where you buy carry-out containers, you buy bags. Like, just when you think you have enough, you don't have enough. You need more. And the transition for the streetery, we don't use carry-out containers for the streetery. We use a different set of plates that aren't that are disposable plates. And so again, that is setting us up for outside, where we're preparing ourselves with a whole new set of plateware. Always having enough disposable gloves, always having enough masks on you, and not just for yourself and your staff, but for others that don't come in with a mask. I want them to continue shopping with us, and I want them to continue to get things that they need. And heaven forbid somebody walk in without a mask and they, can't get the things that they need. So I require everybody to come in with a mask, but if they don't have one and they feel bad about it, I ask them if they want a mask, and if they want me to provide them with a mask, I'll give them one of our masks that I have, disposable masks, just so that they don't have to walk home empty-handed. It's these little things that we do as part of an understanding and a partnership with the community of like, we're all in this together. And, anything that as a business owner I can do to help facilitate that process, I want to help in any way possible, because that's the only way that we're all going to get through this. I forget sometimes. I mean, thank gosh, I have in my car, I have a handful of masks, because I've actually got in my car, thought I had my mask and I didn't, and drove to a place and I was like, I don't have a mask, I can't go in. And then I reached in my side compartment and grabbed an extra one. Well, as a business owner, that's what we do. But as an individual that lives in a household, you're not walking around with a purse full of masks. You're just not. So is there anything that I can tell other business owners that potentially want to open up a streetery or how to do this? Keep extra supplies of everything, extra hand sanitizer. Every table of ours outside has hand sanitizer. We have 10 tables, there's 10 sanitizers. We have 10 extra backups of hand sanitizer. We have a box of hand wipes, everything that we would need to keep ourselves and our guests safe.
Patrice, I think that's, it's that spirit that I think is, the heartening spirit of the small business community. And we keep hearing it again and again. And it is why we have to continue to work to keep our small businesses thriving, is because that is what is that heartbeat of local communities like Mount Pleasant, that knitting together and that caring, right? That caring community that really gives me hope, candidly, around what we will be on the other side of this, because I think it's that selfless attitude, and it's, it's what our main streets are doing every day to try and, help people get to the other side of this. Patrice, tell everybody where you are and how to find you and how to, how to come and support your small business.
So I own Purple Patch Restaurant. It's a small Filipino restaurant right in the heart of Mount Pleasant. It's located at 3155 Mount Pleasant Street, and we are open 7 days a week from 10 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes during the weekends, since we have the streetery, we'll tend to stay open a little bit longer. But if you want to call us, you can call us at 202-299-0022. If you want to check us out on the web, you can look up Purple Patch DC, and all the information will come up about us.
Wonderful. And Carolina, do a little plug for District Bridges here, because you guys are really working with businesses like this one in Mount Pleasant and across other neighborhoods across the city.
Sure. So District Bridges now, we run 5 different main streets. So we're in Columbia Heights, Mount Pleasant, Lower George Avenue, which covers Pleasant Plains, Parkview, and Petworth. And we recently acquired Logan Circle, U Street, as well as Cleveland Park, and we're supporting Woodley Park as well. So we are working with, I don't know the exact number, probably over 800 businesses here at District Bridges. And we have a great team, and we're all eager to help and support our businesses make it through this really difficult times. And if you need any type of assistance with the outdoor seating, we know the application process now, so we can help.
You've been through it, so give your website at least so people know how to reach you.
Yep, it's districtbridges.org, and you can connect with the manager for each different program depending on where you are.
So, you know, the streetery is just the latest phase as we continue to move towards reopen. You know, the Build Back Better series is for us to meet actual people who are slugging it out and sort of getting us forward. I am Kristi Whitfield. I'm the director of the Department of Small Local Business Development, and thank you for watching.